Hey, what's up? It's me, Meanie Mosey. The year is ending, or has ended probably by the time you're watching this, most likely. Here are the top 10 manga that I've read in 2023. This first manga, I'm not even going to lie to you and try to convince you that it's on this list for anything other than aesthetic purposes. The Girl from the Other Side. I love the way they look. They are gorgeous books. Like, it has all this gold foil on it and everything. Quite hefty. I got this probably at the beginning of the year and I read through the whole entire first volume, and since then I've just been collecting the volumes. I have 2 more on my shelf, but I like the way they look on my shelf. The story is a very simple fantasy with this kind of mystery going on. I know there's an anime for it. I haven't watched it yet. I don't know if I will watch it because I'm kind of enjoying reading it. I don't know how many volumes are going to come out. I know the series has ended, but so far I have 3 of the 4 volumes, I think, that are out now. But yeah, The Girl from the Other Side, kind of right up my alley, as fits all the characteristics of what I would like. I mean, I guess like the kind of stuff that I like the fairy tale fantasy stuff. Number 2 is Yakuza Fianc. I'm surprised that I liked Yakuza Fianc as much as I do. At first I was kind of like put off by the art style just because it's different and we don't like change. But I got used to it and now it's kind of just like a hallmark of the book. I mean, as it normally does. Maybe I should try that with Mob Psycho. I really like things that look nice. and like it's aesthetically pleasing. Like the cover is cute and the spines are really nice, and the spines are probably going to be the thing that you see most on the shelf. So I like it because it looks nice. And then the story, it kind of reminds me of like trash TV, like The Bachelor or Love is Blind or something. I'm not getting any academic benefit from this. The story is so simple and these characters are so screwed up. It's nice to have a balance like that. Sometimes you just have to like turn off your brain and stop trying to figure out why you like something and just like the darn thing. The 2 main characters, they're in 2 rival gangs. She doesn't like him, he's infatuated with her, and the story just goes on and they do like gang related stuff. But yeah, Yakuza Fiancé. I really like this one. The next one, this one is one that I actually watched the anime for first, Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. So I was already attracted to this one because like I love the art style and I love all the different colors, and the manga spines just look really nice all next to each other. I got the box set because I think it was on sale at some point, and so I've just been kind of going through the books. I watched the anime and I caught up to the anime. I know they're doing something different with it. Like I don't know if it was redone or if they're just like extending it, but there was a new part that just came out. But I've just been reading because I think they might have like cut out some important parts from the manga that weren't in the anime. I don't know. It's like the story is compelling, and so like while the anime tries to figure out what it's doing, I'm just gonna read through and kind of see through the whole entire story. I've gotten through volume 5 of this. There's a whole mystery going on with him and like his past and everything. The main character, she's adorable. They go through all these like kind of like supernatural situations and all that, and it's just a really fun read. It's like whenever I pick it up, I can't put it down, but then once I put it down, it takes me a minute to pick it back up. The next one is one that I actually got from seeing different recommendations online, but that is Kowloon Generic Romance. And so there's nothing generic, and it's like definitely not like too much romance, but it's some type of sci-fi mystery type situation, and it's just kind of like, it's just kind of weird. I read Kofka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami. It kind of had like this like sort of underlying weirdness. Like you understand like these basic elements of it, except they're all being combined in a way that like you wouldn't imagine. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's like, it's kind of like a plain weirdness. Like you understand everything that's going on, but it's odd what's going on. It's a mystery. There's something going on, and we gotta get to the bottom of it. Like people are getting replaced, like they look exactly the same, except they're not the same people, and like only the ones that are closest to them can really tell the difference. It's an interesting read. I'm enjoying it so far. This next one, honestly, I'd like to move this one up, but I wrote out a list and I'm just gonna leave the list as is established. One thing that I really like about manga, specifically about realistic manga, is that it has a way of taking a subject that you like wouldn't otherwise give a flying poo about, and one, make you care deeply about the subject, and two, explain the subject in such a way that makes you think that you could do it yourself. Like Haikyuu did it with volleyball. I was up watching the men's volleyball Olympics talking about like nice kill, nice receive. It's like, I don't watch sports. Like even different genres. Give me like a BuzzFeed quiz and say like either a world with magic or a world with pirates. Normally I'd say magic, like fairy tales, like give me that. But if you're talking about like Black Clover versus One Piece, I'm picking One Piece every single day of the week. But I think really great stories have the ability to kind of convince you to care about them. And that's what I think Shha Showen did. I love this series. I've learned so much about Japanese comedy, like manzai comedy. I enjoy watching their story. They're two boys trying to be the best high school comedians in the country. And they're going through it. They're writing jokes. They're getting over social anxiety and trying to like perform on stage with other people and comparison and all that stuff that comes with performing. And it's hilarious. And like this whole series is full of comedy routines and I just love reading it. Shha Showen is number 6. Honestly, should be higher. I really, really like this one. Number 5. We're getting into the top 5 here. Number 5 mainly has to do with aesthetics also, but it also has an extra oomph of like being a fantastic story. That's Witch Hat Atelier. I've talked about this story on my channel already, and I guess the main reason why like it's in the top 10 for this year, even though I've read it, I started reading it maybe a couple years ago. I've got the latest volumes. I haven't read it yet because I kind of have to get in like a certain mood to read it because it's like so detailed and like the art is like so wonderful that it's not something I could just pick up and like pay halfway attention to. But I love this story. Magic and fairy tales and all that kind of stuff. Like I said it with the first book that was on here. This girl, she is a witch.
We have found a witch, may we burn her?
She wasn't born a witch, and so she's not supposed to be a witch, but she is one, and she's kind of struggling with learning and kind of trying to figure out her place in the whole entire witchy community and everything. And it's just a really great read. I really love the art. The book is beautiful. And yeah, I need to get on this one. I need to get caught up to the latest volume. Number 4. So this one, I picked it up probably in the summer or spring, and I couldn't put it down. I was just tearing through these volumes. And so like I remember that time, and I haven't started reading it again since, but I know it's about to be prominent again soon because there's an anime coming out for it next year, and that one is Kaiju number 8. So Kaiju number 8, this dude, he is a kaiju hunter, and one day some accident happens and he gets turned into a kaiju. He can turn it on and turn it off again, but it's like this huge mistake that's happened. Plus side, it has made him stronger enough to hunt and take care of like the hardest and most difficult enemies. The downside is that he's getting hunted too. Like people are catching on that he might not be all human, and I think they're going to try to put a stop to it. Like the very people that he's trying to help are the same ones who are going to turn against him at some point. So it's been like, this has been a really funny, really action-packed manga. I love that the action in this book is so clear. Like you can always see what's going on. I always love when that happens because like some manga, it's like it'll explain that something's happening and it'll have like different action scenes, and you're just kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna count on the dialogue after this because I just don't know what the heck just happened, or like I guess I'll catch that when the anime comes out or something like that. Like sometimes you just give up. But with Kaiju number 8, you always know what's going on. And I really like this. I'm really excited to see the anime when it comes out. I've seen screenshots before, or I don't know, screenshots, whatever. It didn't look exactly like the manga, as like nothing really ever does. But it looked a little bit different in like a way that I wouldn't expect. And so we'll just have to see what it looks like, but I'm really excited anyway. I'm sure they're going to do a good job. before I get to the top 3, we are going to discuss some honorable mentions. Yona of the Dawn. So, Yona of the Dawn, I literally just started reading this. I watched the entire anime probably a year or 2 ago. And so I just recently started collecting the manga. And so I read volume 1. I'm not anywhere that I haven't seen in the anime already, so it's kind of slow going. But I'm looking forward to getting into this one. I have like sporadic copies. I have like 1 through 4 and then 11 through 20 and then volume 35. So I've kind of been collecting because when I start reading this, I want to just like go through without having to like wait on something to like ship in or something like that. But Yona of the Dawn, I'm looking forward to it. I've heard a lot of great things about the manga. The anime, I think, is done. I don't think they're going to continue it because it's been like some years, but I'm looking forward to reading this one next year, and maybe it'll be on the top 10 for next year. Number 2 is one of my favorites, actually, but it's not on the top 10 list this year, but that's My Hero Academia. Wow, everybody knows this one. Oh my gosh, My Hero. Horikoshi's been trying to end the series like so hard. I think he said last year that the series would be done right now. It's not yet, but it's getting close. It's wrapping up. Like, he's trying to end it so hard. He's trying to land that plane, and I totally believe in you, Horikoshi. You can do it. I normally read, like, week to week on Shonen Jump, but I don't know. This year, it's just, like, I got super busy, and so I've just been kind of, like, sporadically catching up whenever there's a chunk of new chapters out just to see what's going on. Like, whenever it was trending on Twitter, I would, like, look back into it, catch up again. But this is kind of one of the ones where I was like, I'll wait for the anime also because like the action gets so kind of like the art style has changed so much since the beginning. And then the action scenes in the newest chapters are just like so detailed and it's kind of hard to see everything that's going on, but I just know that when it gets animated, it's going to be really awesome. So yeah, My Hero Academia, honorable mention. So now we are getting into the top 3. This one I've talked about on my channel before. The anime came out for it this year. They did a fantastic job on it. Everybody's talking about it now. Everybody knows how great it is, and I'm just really excited that people are excited about it now too. And that is the Apothecary Diaries. I love how they portrayed Mao Mao in the anime. Like, she's just exactly how I thought she'd be. Jinshi, in the English dub, he's voiced by the same actor who does Gojo, and I think that fits perfectly. I really liked seeing this one come to life this year. Number 2, honestly, probably should have been an honorable mention because it's just not fair. Like, it's gonna be above everything else in most situations. It's the one thing that I talk about most of the time on my channel, and that is One Piece. I read through Dressrosa in the beginning of the year, and then I read through Zoe, and then Whole Cake Island, and then I started Wano a little bit. This is volume 91 through 93. I always feel bad when I have videos that I owe on my channel. I'm doing a One Piece series where I just go through each arc, and I haven't done my Zoe arc one yet. Just because I'm like trying to figure out what to say about it. But I've been kind of like sneaking like little bits of Wano a little bit. But I'll definitely get on making a Zoe video for next year, so I can make the Whole Cake Island video and then not feel bad about watching Wano. But this has just been like great as usual. I know this was a really huge year for One Piece. There's like a lot of stuff that's going on in both the manga and the anime this year. My goal next year is to catch up. Girl, you better. Like, I know, I'm sorry, I know. But One Piece number 2, I don't think, well, honestly, it might be a surprise that it's number 2. Because it's like, oh my gosh, what did you read this year that you thought was better than One Piece? Well, The Boxer. And I know what you're thinking. It's like, oh, this is a top 10 list for manga. Why did you put a manhwa on the top? It's like honestly, like, it's in the manga section at Barnes & Noble. So, like, it is what it is. Like, every single time I buy one of these volumes, I just can't put it down. I know it's a webtoon. I know it started on webtoons, and I know it's finished, but I'm enjoying reading the physical copies whenever they come out. And so, like, as much as I've been tempted to just finish the the series, I'm only on volume 4. Yeah, I only just finished volume 4. But this one, the same things that I was talking about with Shha Showen, with it explaining things that you wouldn't otherwise care about. The same thing with Kaiju number 8, with it being very clear what's happening. All of that is in this series. I love The Boxer. I love this series so much. The story is told in such like a gorgeous way, because it's like, I think I have a little small video about talking about how this whole first volume is like a mirror of itself, but it's like the volumes are in themselves are poetic like that, and it's like an element that you wouldn't expect from a little sports story like this. I would say stuff like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see this animated. But no, honestly, the way that these things are drawn in this series, like, you don't need an animation because it just jumps off the page like by itself. And I just really love this series. It's kind of like, I mean, you know who you're rooting for and everything, but it's kind of messing with you. Like in the 4th volume, it starts to say like, okay, who's the real protagonist here? As with any sports story or anything like that, it's not like you have enemies. It's just like you have people who do things differently, and you have antagonists, but they're not villains. They're just like against the protagonist, and then it's like, okay, well, who's even going to be the protagonist? It's like sometimes you don't know, sometimes it confuses you, and I just really love this story for doing that, for kind of like being like a mind bender situation like that. But I'm looking forward to the rest of these coming out physically. I really love the way they look. It's very simple, it's very clean, and I am really enjoying this series. This has been my favorite so far this year. I would not have guessed just picking it up. And yeah, I freaking love it. Thank you for watching my top 10 manga video for 2023. If you're kind of seeing all the manga that I've read and you have recommendations for me as far as like what to read next and everything, put it in the comments. I haven't read much. If you have a series that's kind of obvious to everyone, like I probably haven't read it, honestly. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys recommend. I hope that you pick up one of these series that I mentioned if you haven't read it, and that you read it, and I hope you like it. Let me know if you do that. But yeah, this has been a pretty great year for reading for me. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I've been Meanie Mosey, and I will catch you guys next time.